Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gina and let's talk about plants. So today's video is going to be I guess it's going to be like a monthly houseplant updates. So we're going to look at all the things that are new in my collection. We'll walk around and mostly the most exciting thing is a bunch of my Hoyas are blooming. So I'm going to take you around to look at all the Hoyas, all the Hoya blooms, or if they're not currently blooming, they are getting ready to bloom. And I actually, a few days ago, I took some video of these Hoyas just in case, like the ones that are blooming, like there's one right here. You can, oh, it's just out of frame. You can see in my hand, this is the very tip of my Hoya pachysclata. This one is blooming, but I believe, yeah, that bloom, there's like two, excuse me, two peduncles. One bloomed a few days ago, and I think it's at the end. It's like closed up now, but there is one up above that is still blooming. So stuff like that, I'm going to take you around to look at those. And yeah, lots of blooming, lots of growth. Some things that I've moved out of my hang on a sec. Okay, sorry about that. I use my phone to record, to do all my videos basically. And I had received a message. Do you guys remember the Philodendron Summer Glory? I showed you guys a couple of videos back. It was one of the plants I wanted to purge from my collection. Well, no one took me up on free plants for, I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but no one picked up free plants. So I actually had this one on Facebook Marketplace, and someone contacted me through Facebook Marketplace, and they're buying it for 20 bucks. So, you know, making a little bit of money is always a good thing. Always a good thing. I mean, I'm happy to give away free plants, but if I can get $20 for this plant, I'm happy to take $20 because I can put that towards something else. Anyway, so yeah, I got a message and I had to stop for that. So sorry about that. All right, so what were we talking about? Hoya blooms? Walking around, looking at all the new growth or blooms or whatever. Plants I moved. I've moved some plants. Like I had some, I'll show you. I had my pings in my grow tent and I moved them up here. I'll show you all of my African violets, and it's not going to be like a collection video, but I'll just show you them because there are so many of them blooming and they are looking so amazing. We'll do that. Another thing we're going to do is, someone asked me, I can't remember your first name, but you have your own channel. I think it's Latina Plants or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, you asked me if I could do an update on the plants I received from Plant Stop USA. So we'll look at those. I'll show you that. I'll show you how they're doing. And we may even go outside today. I'll take you around it's just going to be like a huge plant update. I think I will. I'll take you guys outside. We'll look at the gardens. And like every month, I guess, maybe we'll do this now. Like we'll do the monthly update, and I'll update outside also. Today is a very exciting day. It is May 14th, and I saw my first Oriole at my Oriole feeders. I think it's the Orchard Oriole. They showed up, and the funny thing is last year they showed up on May 14th. And I know that because I wrote it in my calendar. May 14th, first Oriole sighting. So, and it's May 14th, and this is the first time I've seen them this year. So they are like clockwork. It's very cool. So hopefully between now and the time I'm editing this video, I can slip in some video of an Oriole at the feeder so you can see. This is just a big monthly Planty update. So that's the plan. So I guess we'll just get started. All right, so we are gonna just start right here in my office. Right behind me is my IKEA Vitsjo cabinet, and it mostly contains all of my African violets now. African violets and pings. It used to be filled with Hoyas, but I've moved a lot of my Hoyas to the grow tent because the Hoyas just do so well in the higher humidity in the grow tent. So I've moved a lot of them down there. I did not move this one right here. This is my Hoya. I'll just pull it off of here. It is. Oh, and it's blooming also, so we can look at the bloom together. But this is the Croniana Super Silver. It's just doing so well in this ambient room condition, so I'm not moving it to the grow tent. There's no need for it. Here is its bloom. Right there. Is it open? It's not open yet. But this is just one of the Hoyas in my collection. One of many that are either blooming or getting ready to bloom. And yeah, the house, every morning, the house just smells so florally, just very, that's probably not a word, florally, very fragrant. It's very fragrant in the morning and at night. So it kind of stinks. If you have Hoyas, you know, the blooms, they kind of stink a little bit. In fact, the other night I was in bed, just went into bed, and I had moved my, and I'll show you, I'll take you in there, but I had moved my Hoya carnosa compacta variegated, the variegated version, into my room, and it is blooming and it is so strong. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fall asleep because I kept getting, every now and then I'd get whiffs of it. But yeah, I managed it. So I almost did remove it from the bedroom though. Okay, so down here on this shelf right here, and maybe I should just take you off of the tripod. So these are the pings that were in my grow tent. I moved them in here and they are doing so much better. And down here, these are all my African violets. This whole shelf is filled with African violets. The bottom shelf is almost all African violets. There's some Passiflora trifasciatas down there. And then there's also a peperomia down there. But pretty much everything else it's African violets. So I'm going to take you off of the, let me come down here. I'm going to take you off of the tripod. And then we'll take a closer look at all the African violets. And please ignore the messiness of the shelves. My shelves are in need of more cleaning. They're always in need of cleaning. They always get those water spots, little dirt, little leaves, and yeah, it needs cleaning, but we're just gonna, and it's not just this shelf, it's other shelves too. So we're just gonna ignore that, and we're just looking at the pretty plants. So actually, before we look at the pings and the African violets, I wanted to show you guys this terrarium. So this is a jar terrarium I made, it's probably been a year. And this jar has always given me the worst trouble. I could not get things to grow in this terrarium. The only thing I could get to grow was moss. I could get some moss to grow, but even some of the moss started dying off on this. So I tried so many plants in this terrarium, and every time they would die off. So I kind of like gave up on this one. It was so ugly looking, and it was just really ugly looking. It was just terrible. But what I was doing previously was I was closing this lid like all the way, like sealing it completely. And I'm thinking, I don't know why, like I have other terrariums that are like totally sealed, like glass jar terrariums like this that are completely sealed, and the plants still do okay in them. For some reason, not this one. So I decided to just put saran wrap on the top, and I leave just a little bit of it open right here. There's a little opening so some air gets in there. Yeah. And things are starting to do better. So even like my mosses, I don't know if you can see, it's like this moss here had died. I thought it had died off. Well, it's starting to come back. And let's see here, this, I know it's hard to see in there, but these mosses are all like getting green again. They were all just brown like this. And so the only plant so far, I bet I could try again, like with a real plant. Well, not that this isn't a real plant, but do you see that kind of right here? It's kind of a fern looking plant. So what this is, now I have my big terrarium over here. Let me just swing it over here and ignore the mess. There is a mess over there. So over here, this is my big terrarium here. So you see these ferns? They're ferns. So these guys popped up by themselves out of the moss that I put in there. So I just took like a little piece of that, like a little snippet of that fern. Swing back over here. And I stuck it in here and it started to die off. I don't know if you can see the dead parts of it, like right here, the dead parts of that fern, but look, it decided to sprout more of that fern. So I'm just so excited that I have gotten, like this terrarium is not dead. It's like, it's starting to grow, and that's so exciting. That's a really fun update. And I think it was Lynn, you wanted to see updates, like a terrarium update, like my jar terrariums, because you said that you have started making jar terrariums. Yeah, sorry. I just want to get you more centered. So yeah, that's it. That's, I should probably show you all my terrariums, my little jar terrariums, which maybe one day I will do that in a video, but that's an update on that one that I'm really excited about. And yeah, so now we can look at pings and African violets. All right, so here are the pings, and I have them in these plastic containers here with distilled water at the bottom, so they are always they're always moist. They're always in moist conditions. So I had these in my grow tent. So in the grow tent, I feel like they were staying, it was just too warm for them, which I would have thought they would have liked that, like the really warm, humid conditions, but I feel like it wasn't ideal for them. And I even lost one, like this one here, ended up dying off, but that is a leaf that I was able to pluck off, and that leaf came back. It's a whole new plant. So this one here, this Utricularia, what is that, Calicifida? I feel like that one suffered in the grow tent. This is its flower. The flower is mostly spent, but you can see how the leaves aren't looking so great, and they started doing that in the grow tent. So I brought it up here, and I feel like it might be getting better, but at least I'm hopeful that it's not going to like completely die off. Just everything looks better. Like this Drosera here looks so much better. It's got some little flowers there. It just looks so much better up here. I think it was just way too humid. And also this one, this is another Drosera, I don't know. It's another Drosera. It's just looking so much better up here. So yeah, I don't recommend keeping these in a grow tent. If your grow tent gets too warm, I think they just kind of suffer. But here's a nice little combination. You can read. I'll let you read. I'm not going to attempt to say the name, but real cute one. That one's an easy one. Bugbane. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. Peaches. Oh, look how pretty that is. And bonus, they collect fungus gnats, which I don't know about you guys, but I have been having the worst time with fungus gnats again. It's like, I guess it's fungus gnat season. I keep hearing, like, even my family members, like, ugh, fungus gnat, flying in their faces, trying to dive bomb into their food and their drinks. So I keep telling them, it's not going to last long. It's just for just a little bit. I will get them under control again. But right now, I am just in the middle of a fungus gnat fight. So, all right, so I think that is all. There's, more plants up here. Hoya is up here, and some Hoyas here, there. my jar I just showed you. So there is a little greenhouse back here with some leaf cuttings of African violets that I'm trying to grow into new plants. So down here, this is the first shelf just filled with the African violets. And many of them are blooming. Like this one here, I told you guys I was having trouble with thrips. So I almost lost this plant. I had to cut a bunch of the leaves off, but look, new growth, a new plant is forming. This one is my very favorite. Love that flower. It's just so pretty. This is the serpentine. And yeah, most of these here are not blooming. They're still babies. I do still have this one. I've had this one for quite a while, and I almost lost this one during the great thrips infestation, but it's made a comeback and it's flowering. So pretty. Down here, look at all these guys. Look how pretty. You've seen this one very recently in my contest video, what's your favorite? This one was in that one. This one, look at this one. Look how pretty this is. It has variegated leaves, and then it has like that, like a darker purple flower with a yellow center. I think this is stunning. This one is Jolly Jubilee. So cute. And then this one here, again, I don't want to make this a collection video, but isn't this, I like this. Just the really pretty pink blooms on that one. So this one's getting ready to bloom. This one here is the Frosty Cherry, I believe, pretty sure, yeah. Frosty Cherry, and that one's going to start blooming, and like all of these up here, all these little babies are Frosty Cherries that like came from that original, like here's another one, Frosty Cherry, this one, this one, this one, and that one, that one, that one. Those are all Frosty Cherries, which I think eventually I might sell some in my shop. I can't remember what the blooms look like on those, but eventually, yeah, eventually I will be putting some of these in my shop in case, you know, I can get some of you guys into African violets. Maybe you'll get in, maybe I can get you guys excited about African violets. So here we have some Passiflora trifasciatas, which these guys were also in my grow tent, and they do fine in the grow tent to get them rooted, but as they get older, they don't like it. It's like just too warm, and it's just too warm for them, I think. Maybe too humid. Probably, I don't know, but they just started, like the leaves started dying off on them. So I brought them all up here, and they just like perked up here. So I think this week, and if you check my shop, thepinktrellis.com, you might see one, unless it's sold, but there might be one in the shop. I think this one is the one I'm gonna list first, because it just looks the best. Like some of these others, I mean, they all look nice, but that one, all the others I want to let grow some more. Like this one is pretty small. This one's actually pretty big. So yeah, the next few plant shop updates, you're probably gonna see these in the shop. So I don't know how well they're gonna ship. Hopefully they will ship okay, since they are a little bit more sensitive of plants, I think, but I think they'll be okay. So yeah, so that's the update on the shelf. Okay, so now we're gonna move this direction. The shelf we just looked at is over here. We're going this way. So behind me, we're gonna look at some of the plants back here. Particularly, this is my Hoya pachiclata here with the bloom. I don't know if you can see. This is the bloom here that is already done blooming. those little petals are about to fall off, but one up here, this one is still in process of blooming and very fragrant. And also right here, this is the Hoya retusa. I'll take you in to look at. This one even has some blooms. Right now I just see one, but yeah, you can see that. I love Hoya retusa. It's just so pretty. And I think that's it as far as Hoyas blooming on this wall behind me. And as far as updates, everything's like growing. Like this is, I took cuttings off of this one for this is Hoya Bermanica, and I took cuttings of this. I have this in my shop, this plant. I'll just bring this one to you. It has new growth points in there, right there. You can see a new growth point, and it's a fun one. Hoya Bermanica, doing its spring thing, its spring and summer thing. So, okay, let me take you in to look at some blooms. So here is Hoya retusa. She has climbed all the way up there, and then she also trails all the way down here. I just love the growth pattern on this plant. I think this is an underrated Hoya for sure. And here is my one bloom that is left on her, and there, right there. So they just get like single blooms like that. How cool is that? So stinking cute. Love it. There was one down inside of there, but yeah, that one's done. So just one bloom there. And this is the Peperomia Hope. And here is the Hoya pachysclata, and that is the one. Oh, there's more blooms waiting in the wings back there. It's gonna get some more, but you can see it gets like drippy. See that drip like right there. Right there. There's a drip. This one does drip, and it's super fragrant. This is the old bloom here. And love it. Love Hoya pachysclata. And there's like, this is a peduncle here. That one's not blooming yet. And I think there was one up here. Yeah, right there. And those two are not blooming yet. But very pretty. And Hoya linearis is not currently blooming. It does have new growth though. All this up here. All right, moving on. All right, so here, this is a Plant Stop USA plant update. So this here is my syngonium chia pens, and this is the variegated version. And so since it's doing amazingly well, just amazingly. You can see all that root growth in there. It's popping out the bottom. But so since I've had this in my care, and this one, and so if you remember a lot of the plants, mostly just the Hoyas, they came in really rough condition. The Hoyas did. Everything else did not. So there was the chia pens came in perfectly. The Monstera elbow, which I'll show you, that one came in just fine. It was just the Hoyas that were suffering. So, and I'll show you those Hoyas. They're actually in my grow tent. They're in a container full of moss to root them, and they're growing. They're doing great. So I really need to pull them out of there probably and pot them up, but I just haven't yet. So, but I'll show you that. So, all right, you guys. So I am popping in here real quick to show you this little box of Hoyas that came in from Plant Stop USA or US. I can't remember exactly what the name of the place is, but these were the Hoyas that came in, and they were not in very good shape at all. So I stuck them into this container. So the reason I'm like slipping this in here is because I got done filming this video and realized I never showed you the Hoyas, and I promised I would show them to you. So here they are. So they are all doing really well in here. We have this one here. This is rooted. You can see it has a new growth point here. So this one is doing really well. I don't remember the name of it, but I will put it on the screen if I can figure it out. Another one from PlantStop US is this one. Once again, the name will be on the screen, and it is rooted, but I don't see, there's no new growth point coming out of this one yet. And then the other one, and I'm not sure, this one might be this might be the same as this here. This. It might be the same plant, I'm not positive. But this one is also rooted, and it has this long stem, and you can see it has a new leaf here. It has another new leaf here. It is nicely rooted. All of these are nicely rooted, and they're doing well. I didn't lose any of the Hoyas I got from PlantStop US, but they just needed some rehabilitation, which is what is going on here. So yeah, and then there was one other Hoya that I got from them, which is, that one it did so much better. It's actually up on my wall already, and I will take you in closer to look at it. I believe it's that one right there. And yeah, let's go up there and take a look at it. All right, so this one here, this is the Calistophylla, and I think it's called the black dot. Calistophylla black dot. Doing wonderfully. It is potted. I put it into my own soil mix, and it has this vine that has attached itself to the grid here, and you can see it has a new leaf. There's a new baby Calistophylla leaf, and there's another one right there. So it's doing fantastically, which I'm so excited. It was my favorite Hoya of all the ones they sent to me. Look how pretty this leaf is. Just a beautiful version of the Calistophylla, and I'm pretty sure it's the black dot. So yeah, that is the Hoya update. So in my care, this leaf came out. Gorgeous, just stunning. And then this is its newest leaf right here. Just unfurled, so I think it will eventually, it's not as pretty as this one, but it's still pretty. So I don't want to touch it. But yeah, that's the update on the chia pens, the variegated chia pens. And it just lives right back here on this table. Eventually, I think I'm going to stick it on the trellis, because the trellis, my trellis here, the pink trellis, the namesake of this channel, this is filled with syngoniums. I think I am near the point where, let me stand up here. I'm at the point where I think I need to switch some things out again, which periodically I do, because either they grow too much, they grow so much that I need to trim them down, or some of them, they start to not look so good. Currently, my problem syngonium on this trellis is my frosted heart, which breaks my heart. I don't know if you can see, like up at the top, like near the light. All of this is still doing okay, but lower down, the leaves are turning yellow. So there's something going on with this plant. So I keep saying I'm going to pull it off of there. I'm going to chop it. I'm going to start over with that plant. So when I do that, I think what I'm going to put in its place, maybe I will put the syngonium chia pens variegated in its place. Currently, it's the only one that is kind of like having issues. Everything else is doing great. I should take you off the tripod so you can get a closer look. But this is the lance leaf, syngonium lance leaf, and it goes all the way up here. I love the way this looks. I just love the looks of that lance leaf. It gets a little bit of yellow, which that is normal. That is not like, a lot of times when plants start to get yellow leaves, you start freaking out like, oh my God, something's wrong with the plant. Not these. That's like normal for the syngonium lance leaf. So yeah, there's a lot of growth on this trellis. It looks really pretty. I see my This elbow is being burned by the light. That elbow, the syngonium elbow, which is probably all blown out from that light up there, but it was giving me all white leaves, and I chopped it, and it started giving, oops, sorry about that. It started giving me some leaves with green on it. It did give me one more solid white, but then it's like every other one. Like I'll get one with green variegation in it, and then I'll get a solid white, and then I'll get a good one, and then I'll get a solid white. So it seems like it's going back and forth that way. So anyway, that's the update on the trellis. Still beautiful, but you know, that frosted heart, that syngonium frosted heart may not get to be up on the trellis for too much longer, because I do want to cut it before I lose the whole thing. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but you know, it happens. A lot of times you just have to start over with plants. It's just how it is. This one's really pretty. This is I think it's Wenlandii. Love that one. This one here. So pretty. All right, I guess we'll look at the begonias now. Okay, so this is my IKEA Millsbo wide cabinet filled with begonias. And before I open it up, I just wanted to check the humidity. It is currently at 85% and 73 degrees. So as soon as I open this up, it's definitely going to change. And yeah, all that moisture is going to come out, but this is it. Look at that. Look at all of them. Aren't they just gorgeous? So again, this is not a begonia collection video. I'm not going to go through each one of them. I just wanted to show you just how beautiful they're looking. Now this morning, I'm usually really good at like catching these before they dry out. This morning I looked over and this one was all drooped down, and I watered it and it's all perked up. Oops, well, I don't know, maybe you saw that water drip out, but it is all perked up again. This leaf this one is not happy, so I'll probably cut that leaf out just because it just looks so sad. But that is because I let it get too dry. My fault. But this here, my biggest one in here is my syngonium Sinbad, and it's just growing like gangbusters here, and it comes all the way out here. The pot is down here in the center here. It comes all the way out here, and it comes all the way down here. It probably needs a trimming. And then probably my second biggest would be this is the Beningo Pink, Begonia Beningo Pink. It is growing up into the light. My favorite, gosh, there's so many I love in this cabinet. I really love the escargot. Some of you have pointed it out in my other videos. This is the Berkillii, was just in one of my contests. What's your favorite plant? Loves it in here. And do you guys remember, I don't know if I really showed it to you, but this plant, this is the Begonia by Pinna Tafida. This one came in very sad, and look how it is nicely coming back. So awesome. Love it. Very happy with that, because this one is a fussy one. It is known to be fussy. Apparently this one is a fussy one too. I didn't know that. But I'm just have such a feeling of accomplishment with this one, getting that one to grow, and it's happy. It is a happy plant. So yeah, a lot of different types. This one supposedly is a hard one to order online and get in. Like, I got this one from Steve's Leaves, and this one is the Breverimosa. Supposedly it is a tough shipper, and they even have like a disclaimer on their website they tell you to order it express, like overnight, and to get the insurance and whatnot on it. Actually, no, you can't get insurance on this one. They will not insure this one because it is such a difficult shipper, apparently. I took a chance. I didn't do like express shipping, and yeah, and it came in just fine. This is from Steve's Leaves. So pretty. I love Steve's Leaves begonias. I love them. Just gorgeous. So that is a look at the begonia cabinet. My happy place. I love this. This one. This is like a difficult one too. This is the Listada. So far, so good. I like the little mug that I found at the Goodwill for $2.99. Still has a little price tag underneath. $2.99. I think they look cute together. So yeah, so that's that. And let's move out of this room. I think we've seen everything I wanted to show you as far as updates in this room. So we are going to go move to the living room. So let's go. All right, so we are now in my living room, and there's a few things I thought we could take a look at in here, which I will take you off the tripod to have a look, but just to give you an idea of where these things are that you're going to be seeing up close. So right here, we're going to take a look at the Hoya carrii. This is my behemoth monster Hoya, probably the biggest Hoya in my collection. I'll take you in for a closer look at that one. Over here, you're going to look at the, this is a Monstera Adansonii Aria, I think. Well, that's what it was sold to me as or sent to me as, but then we decided we think it's a mint. I'll take you, we'll look at that more closely. And actually, maybe I'll just bring it to you because this one I can easily move, whereas the Hoya carrii I cannot. So this is it. So look at this beauty. That's its newest leaf right here. What do you think? Do you still think it's a mint? I love this plant. I just love this plant. I think it's so pretty. This is probably one I think I will. I'll put it on a moss pole. Even though I really don't like moss poles, I'll probably stick this one on a moss pole. It's just gorgeous. So this one used to live, it was on my fireplace mantle, kind of far from the light. So I moved it in here to, like you saw where it was, very close to the window. And it's done this. It's just loves it in this room. It's doing so well, so pretty. I love it. Gorgeous. So yeah, and the lighting is a little bit tricky in here, unfortunately, because the window blows out everything. Yeah, this is my shelves of Scindapsus, a bunch of different Scindapsus, which I don't think, obviously, yeah, I'll take you in to look. This stuff needs chopping, really needs a lot of chopping, but yeah, let's take a closer look. All right, so the Hoya carrii is the main thing I want to show. Do you see these stems? This is Hoya carrii here. That's its stem. This is also one of its stems. And it has so many peduncles, which is actually not a good thing because right below where those peduncles are is my chair. And they drip. These flowers will drip. And so I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to do something about it. So here's another one. It's going to be opening. This one will probably be opening. Focus. That one's going to be opening soon. There are so many peduncles on this one. And here, another one. Here's one that is actually open. You can see, like, it drips. Oh, look. Yeah, see how it drips? That's one of its drips. So that's one of the bad things about when they do flower is a lot of them will get drippy. Here's a peduncle here. This thing is just full of, there's just so many. It's going to have so many flowers up here. Another one over here. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. So here's the other stem that goes up to the ceiling. Flower, flower. Under here is another one. So yeah, this is, you can probably see why I call this a behemoth. It's huge. So I guess I'll just kind of try and, I don't know. I hate to cut it, you know? And then, oh yeah, that works. So this one right here was the one that was up here over the chair. So that takes care of that. So it won't drip on my chair. It'll drip on my rug, but it won't drip on my chair. And this one, it can just drip on itself because it is above the plant itself. So that is an update on Hoya carrii, growing crazy. And next to it, this is Hoya obovata. Very pretty. And it's flowering. Just a classic Hoya flower. Looks like the carnosas. Very pretty. Here's another one here, not open yet. And then there's more. There's another one going to be opening there. There's one that's going to open, and then there's up here, there, and more here. So lots of flowers in my, lots of Hoyas blooming in my collection. Yeah, pretty cool though. I can't complain. I really can't. And then we'll look at, okay, Scindapsus. You can see this is my silver lady. Such a beauty. Going all the way to the floor. She needs chopped. So eventually I will have some of that in my shop. This one needs some water. That's the Silver Hero. It's actually tomorrow is my typical watering day in here, so, but that one needs it now. So yeah, everything looks, Scindapsus are just gorgeous. That's just your plain Argyrius, but it's so pretty. And then the Jade Satin. This one's coming all the way down here, all the way down along the couch. It's down there. Pretty, but needs a trim. Oh, and here's one I forgot to show you. This is the Carnosa compacta variegata. This one is also getting ready. It has bloomed already, but the blooms are done. But there's more peduncles. There's more. This one is going to be blooming. So pretty. This is the one down here is where it finished. That one's done, but yeah, just so many blooms on these guys. All right, so over here in this corner here, this is another Plant Stop USA update plant. This is the Monstera albo, and you can see it has a new leaf. This will be my first leaf right here. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I can already see it has fenestrations, and yeah, I don't want to touch it, but it's doing great. So next up, this is the Hoya obovata, and you can see this one is growing up on the wall. Classic Hoya behavior, and there is a peduncle on this one, so this one should be blooming. I don't think I've had any blooms yet so far this season. I had last summer. Last summer I had some blooms on this one, but this must be a later bloomer. But yeah. It's growing. There's a new stem. Some new leaves back there. All right, so the next stop is the bedroom, and I told you about my Carnosa compacta variegated that is blooming. Well, these are the blooms I was talking about. And I know the lighting is very difficult, but these blooms are super, super fragrant. And they last a really long time. So, and there's one up here. So these guys, they smell like chocolate. I mean, they totally smell like chocolate. And I was saying to my husband, they smell like really bad chocolate, like not good chocolate. Almost like those really cheap chocolate covered cherries, like the really cheap ones. It's kind of interesting, but. So imagine that smell, and imagine you're laying in bed and you keep getting whiffs of that. Yeah, I thought about getting up and removing it because it's just so strong, but the scent has kind of faded. It's not as strong now, and it is livable. So, but it's so pretty, isn't it? I wish the lighting wasn't so poor here. Just a beautiful plant. Here is the Thai lipstick pink plant. Still has a couple of blooms hanging on there, and this actually was a much bigger plant. And if you know about my shop, thepinktrellis.com, I did have some of these in my shop, and they sold out. I have 2 left. They are in the next shop update, but they might be sold out now. But there's more because you guys were so interested in this plant, I did more cuttings of it. So it's now a small plant I sacrificed for you guys. But if you missed out on the 2 in the shop this week's update, then in a few weeks there will be more. If you guys are still interested. Who knows, maybe you guys aren't even interested in them anymore. The cactus and the succulents are all doing great, growing nicely. Not really too much new here. They just looking really nice, I think. The shelves and the plants themselves could use a little cleaning again, always. Yeah, so that's this room. All right, so I guess that is going to be it for all the updates in the house. That's pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys. And here's Nora hanging out. You probably heard her maybe a little bit ago. She was meowing at me. She always thinks I'm talking to her, I think, when I'm making my videos. But so that's it in the house. So now I'm going to take you outside, show you what's going on outside, the first update of this season for the outdoors, and then we're going to come back in, and we're going to play What's Your Favorite again. So I'm going to show you 2 plants, and you can tell me which one of those 2 you prefer. What is your favorite? So yeah, that's the plan. So let's head on outside. All right, time for some outdoor updates. So as you can see right here, these are the vegetables that we were growing inside. They're what you call hardening off out here. So before we just like stick them in the ground, you have to acclimate them to being outside. And so every day for like a week, I'm gonna bring them out here. Like the first day they were out here for 2 hours. This is day 3. The second day, 3 hours. Today they'll be out here for 4 hours, and so on and so forth until they are ready to be planted into the gardens, which are over here. So this first garden is my herb bed. As you can see, there's lots of mint, and I know most people wouldn't allow all this mint to just grow wild, but I like it. I mean, if you've seen my house, you know I like a bit of wildness, a lot of growth. So this is all mint here, and I will just pull it as needed. Here we have some oregano that has come back. This is a Greek oregano, has come back from last year. Back here, this is sage hidden behind some mint, but I saw right there, I'm pretty sure that is more sage coming back. And I thought I saw it over here too. I don't know, we'll see. I'm pretty sure that's sage, but I'm not positive. So hopefully that will come back. The chives come back every year. They're about to bloom. And I did have rosemary here, which did not make it, did not come back. And then this is English thyme, which is making a comeback. So I'm going to get a new rosemary plant for right here, and then I'm going to get a basil plant for right there. And that is pretty much all that is going to go in that bed this season. So this bed here is going to be all tomatoes. So there will be 5 different tomatoes. Right here is some cilantro that came up just from seed from the cilantro we had in this bed last year. So I'm letting that grow. Over here, strawberries. These are strawberries. We have some flowers, so we will get some strawberries this year. That's strawberries. These are all strawberries. And then cucumbers will be here, and then some bell peppers will be in these cages. And then this bed will be all squash, like zucchini and yellow squash will be here. And then in this bed, we'll have some butternut squash and just a bunch of other stuff. I think some radishes will be in this bed. Carrots, maybe some onions. So yeah, those are the garden beds this year. I'm so excited to get them in, get the vegetables in there and get stuff growing. All right, so over here, these are the raspberries and the blueberries. So these 2 are raspberries, and you can see a bunch of raspberries are popping up. And then these are blueberries, lots of flowers. More blueberries. Another blueberry. I think we just have 2 raspberry and then 4 blueberry. And then Derek made this trellis for them to grow along. And then, I don't know if you saw it, but I'm going to show you something fun up above this trellis in just a little bit. Okay, so here is the butterfly garden. And one thing we did different this year is off of Facebook Marketplace, we found this rock. And it was like $30 for all the rock we wanted to take. So we put a little border around the butterfly garden, and I think it just looks so pretty. Everything's coming up. I'm gonna have purple coneflower this year. Last year I planted it as seeds and they didn't come up. This year they're gonna be here, they're gonna come up. All this stuff is from last year's plantings. So I can't wait to show you once everything is in bloom. But here's how it looks right now. So cute, right? My butterfly bush is coming back right there. That. These pots, I got these for free from an estate sale. Aren't they nice? I'll do something with this one. I like that flower on that one. And then we got these benches, which are kind of, I got this watering can. I got these really cute painted benches for free. And then this bench, which I'm not sure if this one has painting on it. No, just a plain bench. All right, let me show you the fun thing over here. So above these trellises here, Derek did his handy dandy woodworking stuff. Sorry. He made birdhouses. So these are chickadee birdhouses. There's this one. So far, no chickadees yet. I think it'll probably not till next year, because we put them out kind of late. They need to come out in like mid-March. But yeah, I'm excited to have little chickadees, little babies. So we have those two houses. And here's my bird feeders. So if you see this little fence that we had to put up here? So we have this fence right here. And then we have it on the other side over there. And the reason for that is because of the neighborhood cats. So we have a neighborhood cat who likes to come and stalk the birds. And she was able to catch one when was it? I think it was last fall. She caught a blue jay and killed it. I think she came from behind. She came through this fence here, walked along here, stalked the bird that was right here, caught it, killed it, and we chased her away. I put the bird in a box, and I know where she lives. Took it to their house, showed them, and asked them, I just wanted them to know that she is killing birds in the neighborhood. We've seen her many times with birds. And suggested giving her a bell on her collar, which is supposed to help. I mean, if she absolutely has to be outdoors, at least if she could have a bell on her collar. So they did do that. But bells don't always work all that great, so Derek and we put this fence up. And this will prevent her from, she'll be stopped. She gets stopped right here. And she has to jump up here, and the birds see her, and then they can fly away. So this is our cat preventative here. Neighborhood cats. So over here, this is my Oriole feeder. I saw the Oriole this morning for the first time at the feeder. I haven't seen any hummingbirds yet at that feeder. I have some fresh nectar made for these. I have to change it today, and then I'll put fresh jelly in the little jelly cups there. That's grape jelly, which they like. So these I forget the name of them, like arbovorite bushes or something like that. They're doing really good. I want them to grow really fast because, as you can see, we have no privacy from our neighbors. So we have a big long line of these to give us some nice privacy one day. So that, they all came back okay. I showed you this last video. This all came up from last year. And then this popped back up. All these plantings we did last year. This is a coneflower here. I thought I lost this bush, but that came back. This is kind of crowding each other here, kind of growing into each other a bit, but that's okay. It's that jungle look. I think this red bush is just gorgeous right here. Love it. So bright red. So pretty. I love this guy too. And then I think one thing we're gonna do this year is we're gonna plant a lilac bush right here. I think that's the plan. And then we have our fruit trees. This is a peach. This is a peach. Both. All the fruit trees we planted are just so healthy, doing so nicely. And then that one. It takes about 3 years to get peaches from what we've been told. So this is year 2. We shouldn't have peaches this year, but next year we should have peaches. By the way, see this fence? Derek and I put this fence up this spring. So the old fence was pretty old, falling apart, so we did this ourselves, and we're so proud of it. This here is an apple tree. This is a Brayburn apple. Doing great. And then over here is another apple tree, and that's a Golden Delicious. Doing great. And our grapes came back. Derek planted grapes to grow on our fence. There's one there. One's a white and one's a red. And then this one. And then I'll take you, these are new trees this spring. We planted cherries. That's a cherry. That's a cherry. This bush we planted last year, or not bush, this evergreen we planted last year is doing great. Planted that bush, it came back, it survived. And then all my wildflowers and plantings along the fence line here are all coming back. These so pretty. These are going to bloom. I don't know what they are, but excited to see those. Some cute little orange flowers. And then also there will be hollyhocks again this year, and nasturtiums. I planted some nasturtiums. This looks like it might be purple coneflower. I know there was some purple coneflower in that mix. And the fence, I just love how nicely that turned out. Derek he's good. He's really good at doing stuff like this. Home improvements. He installed that, which is, we had to put a hole in our house. It's a vent for above the kitchen stove. Because what was there before was just a microwave. And you know, when you're cooking and stuff burns, it sets off fire alarm or smoke alarms. And so we put in a vent above instead of a microwave, we removed the microwave because we don't even use the microwave. So we put a nice hooded vent above it. And Derek, it's just one of his little handiworks right there. And that is it. That is everything for the month of May, the May update, what's going on outside. Next month we'll come back and we'll see what's new. So we're back inside. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing everything that's going on outside. Still a lot more growth to be done out there. Lots more flowers to bloom, and I still have to maybe plant a few more things, and well, definitely plant a few more things like the rosemary and some basil. But yeah, so now let's play What's Your Favorite? So I've picked out 2 plants. Oh, I guess you can kind of see one of them over here, maybe. Let's move it out of there. 2 plants I'm super excited about to hear which ones you prefer, which of these 2 plants you prefer. They're both, in my opinion, very equal. Very equal. I don't even know if I could pick a favorite of the 2. All right, let's start. First one, the syngonium chiapens variegated. This one, a very easy plant. All of my plants are pretty easy, I would say. They're all like, I water them once a week. They don't need like super duper bright light or anything like that. This one does live under some grow lights back there. Yeah, there's just very easy going plant and very beautiful. So that's the syngonium chiapens variegated. Gorgeous. All right, what is it up against? Are you ready for it? It's a tough one. It is a tough one. This one that we looked at a little bit ago, the Adansonii, Monstera Adansonii. Again, is it a mint? Or is it just variegated? I don't know. Now it just kind of looks like it's variegated. It was supposed to be an aria. It's not an aria. I don't know, but it is beautiful. Another one that is super easy. I water it once a week. It lives near, not even like that close to a window, fairly near. It's fairly near a window. It's not like right in front of a window, and it just does amazingly well. So these are your 2 choices. Let me see if I can get this into my hand without dropping it. Okay. These 2. Which is your favorite? Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the Monstera Adansonii variegated? Or do you prefer the syngonium chiapens variegated? It's tough, isn't it? It's a tough one. It's a really tough one this week, I think. So let me know if you want. Let me know in the comments. Do you prefer the syngonium or do you prefer the Monstera? And I will let you know next video the results of your voting, and I'll let you know which one is my favorite. I don't want to say because I don't want to influence. Not that I might influence. I don't think so, but yeah, gosh. And at this moment in time, I don't even know if I could pick my favorite. I don't know. Let me know. I'm leaning towards one. I am leaning a little more towards one. So let me know in the comments if you want which you prefer. Which is your favorite? All right, so that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed seeing all my updates. I think I wasn't expecting or planning for it to be a long video, but I'm afraid it might be a long video. So that's great for those of you who love longer videos. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. Leave me your votes in the comments if you want. And yeah, that's going to be it. So have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.